September 28, 2008. Orbital breakthrough. Space Exploration Technologies Corporation, SpaceX, achieved a milestone in American space history when its Falcon 1 rocket became the first privately developed, fully liquid-fueled launch vehicle to reach Earth orbit. After 3 earlier failures, the 4th flight succeeded, placing a 165-kilogram mass simulator called RATSAT into low Earth orbit. The launch occurred from Omelek Island in the Kwajalein Atoll in the Marshall Islands at 23:15 UTC, following a 5-hour window of opportunity. The event marked a transformational moment in space industry dynamics. Before that date, orbital launches had been dominated by government agencies or large aerospace contractors operating under substantial public funding or governmental contracts. The achievement by SpaceX demonstrated that a non-state actor could design, build, test, and launch a liquid propellant rocket to orbit. In doing so, it shifted the notion of who could access space. The Falcon 1 used RP-1, a refined kerosene, and liquid oxygen for both stages, with the first stage powered by a pump-fed Merlin engine and the second stage using a pressure-fed Kestrel engine. Eventually, after reaching orbit, the second stage restarted to adjust the orbit. The successful flight showed several technical advances. SpaceX had incrementally resolved failure modes encountered in its prior 3 flights. For example, on the prior flight in August 2008, timing errors during staging had caused recontact between stages and led to mission failure. For the September mission, engineers increased the time interval between first stage engine cutoff and stage separation, reducing residual thrust and preventing collisions between stages. The mission's success validated design changes and earned confidence in the underlying architecture. Beyond engineering, the significance lies in the shift toward commercial spaceflight. A privately funded company had now broken into what had been a heavily regulated, capital-intensive field. The achievement suggested that launch costs could potentially be reduced, innovation accelerated, and access broadened for smaller satellite operators. The event helped catalyze competition in the launch services sector. In the aftermath, SpaceX directed effort and capital toward its successor vehicles, most notably the Falcon 9, which would become a workhorse of the emerging commercial space economy. The historic launch also dovetailed with regulatory and policy trajectories. In 2004, the U.S. Congress had passed the Commercial Space Launch Amendments Act, which provided a legal framework for private human spaceflight and constrained federal overregulation in the early phase of commercial space endeavors. That act and related policies created an environment conducive to private entities experimenting with launch systems. The Falcon 1 success in 2008 became a concrete proof point that the regulatory opening could lead to viable commercial outcomes. SpaceX's success reverberated globally. It spurred new entrants and investors to consider space ventures more seriously. It changed expectations about the pace of innovation, reliability, and cost in launch systems. In the years after, the company would scale from small launches to heavy payloads, crewed spacecraft, and reusable systems. But the Falcon 1 milestone remains a foundational inflection point. It broke the barrier that orbital launch was the exclusive domain of national governments or legacy aerospace firms. The mission's payload, RATSAT, was not a functioning communications or reconnaissance satellite, but a mass simulator affixed to the second stage, remaining in orbit. RATSAT's orbit was approximately 617 by 635 kilometers with an inclination of 9.35 degrees, and it remained in place for years. This modest payload underscored that the goal was demonstration, not immediate commercial return. Nonetheless, the success validated the technology, allowed for technical confidence in future missions, and opened the door for the commercial deployment of real payloads on subsequent flights. In summary, the September 28, 2008 Falcon 1 launch holds importance not only for its technical firsts, but for its symbolic and practical redefinition of space access. It signaled a turning point in American space policy and industry. The transition from government-led dominion of orbit to a more pluralistic space economy, in which private firms could compete, innovate, and expand access. From that date forward, models of launch, satellite deployment, and space business would evolve with private enterprise as a central actor in U.S. space history. For enthusiasts of historical ephemera, visit history-collectors.com to find collectibles that might complement your collection. you can own a piece of history.